We're getting very close to the elections, so make sure to watch this video before going out there to vote. In this video, we'll review each party's policies and find out what political party is the worst when it comes to housing and the future of affordability for Canadians. Before going through the rest of the video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel to help us make more educational contents like this for you. Our channel has helped thousands of Canadians make educated decisions during the past few years. Hopefully, our content could be helpful for you as well. As Canada approaches its federal elections on April 28, 2025, housing affordability remains a central concern for many of the Canadian voters. The major political parties, Liberal, Conservative, NDP, and Bloc, have proposed specified strategies to address housing challenges, each one with implications that would affect ownership costs, building expenses, and rental markets. In this video, I have reviewed their policies around three major sectors of the housing market, which are A, home ownership costs, B, building costs, and C, rental markets. Let's start with the current party in power, Liberal Party. So under the current Prime Minister Mark Carney, the Liberal Party emphasizes active federal involvement to enhance housing affordability in the following categories. I'm going to start with the ownership cost. So in this category, their involvement would be the following. First, tax incentives. So they're suggesting to eliminate the GST for the first-time home buyers purchasing properties under $1 million. And they're trying to aim to reduce upfront costs for new homeowners. The next one is income tax reductions. So they're basically suggesting to decrease the lowest tax income bracket from 15% to 14% to increase disposable income, potentially aiding in homeownership affordability. I'm not sure how that would be very helpful compared to the basically debt service that Canadians need to qualify for a mortgage at least at the current home prices, which, for example, in Toronto, the average home price is above $1 million. So to be exact, $1,060,000. So in these current home prices, 1% tax deduction in the lowest bracket can do something, but can't do much. So let's go to the next category, which is building costs. So in this category, they are suggesting increased construction. So they're suggesting they're going to double the pace of home construction to nearly 500,000 new homes annually, focusing on affordable housing to address supply shortages. The next one is rental development incentives. Removing the GST on new residential, basically rental developments until the end of 2030 is what they're suggesting. So hopefully that encourages the construction of rental units. When it comes to the rental cost, they're suggesting affordable housing initiatives. So by increasing the supply of rental units and providing incentives for construction, they aim to remove the pressure on the current rental markets, potentially stabilizing or reducing the rent prices across Canada. Next up is the Conservative Party. So the Conservative Party, led by Pierre, advocates for reducing regulatory barriers and leveraging the market mechanisms basically to improve housing affordability. Let's start with the first category, which is ownership cost. They're saying that they're gonna do the following when it comes to ownership cost. First, they're suggesting that they are eliminating the GST on new homes priced under $1.3 million to lower the cost of home ownership. Next one is that, again, similar to Liberal Party, they are suggesting income tax reduction. So what they're suggesting is that they're going to decrease the lowest income tax bracket from 15% to 12.75%, potentially increasing the take-home basically pay and aiding in housing affordability. Next category is building costs. What they're suggesting is that, for example, they're suggesting regulatory reforms, reducing bureaucratic red tape by 25% over the next 2 years to expedite housing development processes. Next is incentivizing municipalities. What they say basically is that they're going to tie federal basic infrastructure funding to municipalities' housing approval rates to encourage local governments to increase housing supply. Next category is rental cost or supply expansion. They're suggesting that they promote the construction of 2.3 million homes over the next 5 years to increase rental availability, which could lead to more competitive rent prices and potentially bring the rent prices down. Let's go to the next political party, which is NDP. NDP has a tenant-centric housing strategy. So led by Jagmeet Singh, the NDP focuses on tenant protections and affordable housing through direct government actions. Let's look at their suggested policies, starting with ownership cost. So, public land utilization. Using the federal, basically crown land to build over 100,000 rent-controlled homes over the next 10 years is what they're aiming for. So basically, and the result could be the increase in affordable housing stock and potentially controlling the rental prices. So let's go to the next category, which is building cost. What they're suggesting is that home retrofits. So they're suggesting they're going to retrofit 3.3 million homes in Canada to improve energy efficiency and reduce utility costs. The next one is basically tenant protection conditions. So they tie federal housing funding for provinces and municipalities to the tenant protection policies like rent control. When it comes to rental costs, the third category, what they're suggesting is that they're going to ban large corporate landlords from purchasing existing affordable rental properties to prevent rent hikes and preserve affordable housing. Let's go to the last major political party, which is Bloc Québécois. So the Bloc emphasizes provincial autonomy in the housing policies. So about the homeownership cost, they're suggesting provincial autonomy, advocate for the transfer of all immigration powers to Quebec, allowing the provinces to set its own immigration targets, which can impact the housing demand and affordability. When it comes to building costs, they seek increased federal funding for affordable housing projects in Quebec, emphasizing in provinces unique needs. And when it comes to rental costs, they promote the development of social and cooperative housing in Quebec to address rental affordability. So I'll leave the summary in a table in the following slides so you can compare all four policies. Let me and our viewers know in the comments who you will vote for and why.